Have you tried and then miserably failed to create your own self-practice? Don't worry, you're not alone. Hi, my name is Tina, and today I'm going to take you through 5 steps to creating a sustainable self-practice. So, to begin with, we want to establish, so the first and the second actually go a little bit together. So it's time and place. So the first one, we're gonna tackle time first. So what we really want to do is we want to find a time during the day when we know that we have time to actually do our practice and not be disturbed. So a time that we know that we're gonna be able to be alone. You know, it can be morning, it can be afternoon, it can be lunch, it can be evening. Then the second one, find a place where you will be able to practice. So this can be your home, this can be where I go actually in a gym, and then I ask them if I can use the spaces to practice, and they usually say yes. But finding a space to hold your practice every day. Now to the third one, and this is an important one. And this is also the step I think that's where people usually fail, right? So too much, too fast. Okay, so what I mean by that is don't commit to too much, too fast. And we can break this down into 2 subcategories. So the first one is time related. So many of us have, you know, hectic lives, a lot to do with work, family, friends, other engagements, etc. And we may not have the ability to practice for an hour, 1.5 hours during our day, right? If you are able to do that, then kudos to you, that's fantastic. If you don't start your self-practice by thinking that you're gonna be able to practice 1 hour a day. Start small, even with 10 minutes a day, just coming onto your mat, checking in, and having those 10 minutes of mindfulness. Keep it short, keep it sweet, but do it. Do it consistently, right? Then the other part is too much, too fast, is the physical part. So to be able to stick with our self-practice and be able to do it every day, we don't want to overdo it. So creating that sequence needs to be a sequence that we can do every day, right? So maybe sticking to our more slower and more gentler poses, right? So you have your warm-ups, we have our seated. Maybe you want to add a sun salutation, make it short and sweet. And then if you want to talk more about this, or if you want to hear more about this, how to create a sustainable sequence to build your self-practice, then comment below, and we'll make sure to make a video of that one as well, okay? So basically, don't make it physically too challenging because you're gonna give up, you know? The day is gonna come when you're tired because you've done the practice for this amount of days and you're gonna be tired, your body's gonna be aching, and you're not gonna want to go on your mat, you know? And that's not what we wanna do, you know? We can always challenge ourselves later on, right? When we have established our practice. Okay, so time and effort under too much, too fast. Then for the fourth one, I would like you to challenge yourself. So when you have established that you have a time during the day, you have found a place where you can have your practice, you have found a practice that you think that you will be able to stick with, it's not too long, it's not too challenging, it's something that will be sustainable over a longer period of time, then challenge yourself. So what I mean by that is set an amount of days that you will stick with this practice, with this framework that you have created for yourself. So it can be 7 days, it can be 2 weeks, it can even be a month, right? And try to stick with the same sequence as well, because then it makes it just that much easier for you to step on the mat, because you know already what you're gonna do. And so you have your sequence, you know that it's not too difficult, you know that it's not gonna take you too long, you know exactly how long it is going to take you, and that will make it that much easier to stick with it over time. And then do that challenge. Set that challenge for yourself. If it's the first time that you ever do it, maybe, 7 days is more than enough. And then probably when you arrive at day 7, you'll be like, wow, this is fantastic. I can do this. I can stick with it. And then you can prolong it, right? And then maybe adding another week and so on. And then suddenly you have done like a month's worth of yoga practice without even, noticing that's where you actually arrived, right? And then to the 5th, okay? So the 5th is keep a journal. So for it to be sustainable over time, the sequence may also have to change, right? You might find out that some things doesn't fit, you might have to adjust, but try to do so while keeping a journal according to, about what you're doing. So keeping a kind of a yoga journal. So seeing also how the sequence affects the rest of your day, right? Because we're all different, and we all have, different physical capabilities. We all have different lives in terms of hectic, in terms of active. If it's mostly sedentary, maybe you need to have some, active kind of practice. If it's very active, maybe you actually need to calm down. So keeping the journal is then to see how your practice will balance your daily life. So hopefully it will bring balance to your daily life and not, make it more imbalanced. And then so tracking it will help you to see where you can do your nips and tucks as you go along. Yes, okay, so that was it. So I would also urge you to, in your yoga journal, write these steps down, like time, when are you going to do it, morning, evening, whatnot, place, where, okay, so home, outside, a gym, another space that you have at your disposal. 3, too much, too fast. 2 subcategories of that one, not too long, not too challenging anatomically. 4, challenge. So challenge yourself to stick with it for a certain amount of a time that you choose. And then 5, keep your journal, track your balance with the sequence and see how you can evolve over time. So that's it. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that this will make you stick with your self-practice. If you have any other questions related to this, or if there was something that you're wondering about, or something that you think could be helpful knowing, or something that I touched on that you want to hear more about, then please leave a comment below and we'll get to that. Okay? So have a great day and go make your yoga practice.